Why is relaxation so important in Buddhism? Hi, my name's Ben, and this video is about trying to answer that question. But before we start talking about Buddhism, we just need to define exactly what we mean by relaxation. Now, very often people will use the term relaxation to mean stopping a physical activity. So if you're doing an online workout or some kind of online yoga class, the instructor might say at some point, and now just relax. And what they mean by that is drop the pose you're doing, stop the physical activity that you were doing immediately beforehand. In this video, when I talk about relaxation, I mean something a bit different. I mean letting go of mental tension. Letting go of mental tension. Now, you might think that relaxation is a physical thing, and of course there is such a thing as physical relaxation. But even if we're talking about physical relaxation, it incorporates a very important mental component. So, to give an example, if I have a fist, then I have some physical tension in my hand and fingers, right? If I want to relax that fist, like this, something has to happen in my mind. Either I have to consciously think to myself, I'm going to relax my hand and fingers, or something sort of spontaneous happens in the mind. Maybe I get distracted by something, maybe I get engrossed in something, but whatever it is, something is happening in the mind before the nerves and muscles get the message to relax. And of course, if we're talking about a sort of mental state that we want to relax or let go of, so say we're very, very nervous, when someone says, just relax, don't be so nervous, there the mental component is even more obvious because it's all going on in the mind. The relaxation is entirely in the mind. So the reason that relaxation, letting go of mental tension, is so important in Buddhism is because mental tension is suffering. If we have desire, that is a kind of mental tension. We want something. Our mind is in some sense agitated. If we have aversion, we want to get away from something or we want to stop something, that is a form of mental agitation. We want to get away from it. Our mind is not calm. Our mind is not settled. So from a Buddhist point of view, relaxation is so key because it's another way of describing the goal of Buddhism, which is the elimination of suffering. It might be a partial elimination of suffering, but it's still the elimination of suffering. And that is what Buddhism is all about. Now, in Tibetan Buddhism, our fundamental Buddha nature, the nature of our mind, our innermost essence, is completely relaxed. It's completely without mental tension. And one way of thinking about enlightenment is as a state that you reach when you have totally let go of all mental tension. And the traditional metaphor to describe this state is a clear blue sky. So it's not a kind of completely blank void. It's not like nothing is going on. The sky is very present, it's right there, but it's without any tension. It's without any kind of complication or elaboration. And the other part of that traditional metaphor is that the clouds in the sky are our mental fabrications, our thoughts, all the different forms of mental tension. So one or two other points about that traditional metaphor. The sky, the Buddha nature, which is clear and completely free of all mental tension, is always there. The clear blue sky is always there. It doesn't matter how many clouds are in the way. It doesn't matter how much the clear blue sky is obscured by clouds. It is always there. It is never affected. It is never sullied by the clouds. And in the same way, no matter how much mental tension we have, no matter how many difficulties we have, no matter how much we may feel our minds are kind of full and busy and tense, all of that can be overcome. And behind all of that always is the clear blue sky of completely relaxed Buddha nature. Another thing that's really interesting about that metaphor is that it shows that our mental obstructions, the clouds, the mental tension, is ever changing. You may live in a place where you have very few clouds, or you may live in a place where you have an awful lot of clouds an awful lot of the time, but either way, the clouds will change very frequently. They won't stay static. And in the same way, mental tension is not stable. You might have a lot of it, but it's ever shifting. And that's important to recognize because it shows that shifting these mental tensions, shifting the clouds, is not impossible, and it can be done quite quickly if you apply the right methods. So how does relaxation fit in with meditation? Sometimes it's very obvious. If you're doing a sort of simple shine meditation, so that's meditation on the breath, just watching your breath, very quickly you become relaxed. It doesn't require any visualization or any mental effort, and so it's very obvious that that kind of meditation leads quickly to relaxation, and also is a lot easier the more relaxed you are. But on the other hand, within Tibetan Buddhism in particular, there are lots of very complicated meditations, lots of meditations that involve a huge amount of elaborate visualization. How do they fit in with relaxation? Well, when you're doing a deity visualization, when you're visualizing yourself as a divine figure, you're essentially visualizing yourself without all those mental tensions, because the definition of a Tibetan Buddhist deity is that they are an emblem or a manifestation of the enlightened mind. So they're a manifestation of that clear blue sky of Buddha nature. In other words, they have no mental tension. There might be a lot of elaboration, but that elaboration is spontaneous. It's a natural expression of the clear blue sky. So in other words, when you're doing deity visualization, you are doing it as a way of visualizing a totally relaxed version of yourself. You visualize yourself as the deity, which is the same as visualizing yourself as a completely relaxed, spontaneous expression of the clear blue sky. There's also a very important virtuous circle between meditation and relaxation. In other words, if we approach meditation in a relaxed way, our meditation will be deeper, will be more effective. And when our meditation is deeper and more effective, we will be more relaxed in life in general. The more relaxed we are in life in general, the more relaxed we can be in approaching meditation, and the more deep and effective the meditation will be. And so round and round the circle goes, and the better we can appreciate that cycle, the better our meditation will be and the more relaxed we'll be. It's also worth saying that even if you're doing some of the more complicated meditations, some of the more elaborate visualizations, approaching them in a relaxed way can be really, really helpful. We have to remember that relaxation is very often a gradual process. Sometimes you can eliminate a lot of mental tension very quickly, but often it's a process. It can take moments or weeks or months or years. But even a little bit helps. So even if we can relax and let go of 20% of our mental tension, that's a fifth of the clouds gone, right? And that makes a big, big difference to us. So even if we can't completely relax, even if we can't completely clear away all the clouds at once, if we can relax a bit, that's really, really helpful. So those are my thoughts on relaxation. I hope they're helpful. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and please share on social media as well. Thank you very much.